And why have Vietnam's offerings actually fallen so short?
Well, the numbers are pretty stark. We've had 24 IPOs so far this year, and they've only managed to raise 35% of the $185 million that they set out to. And, you know, speaking to the analysts, the answer why is pretty clear. Many of these companies just aren't very prepared to IPO. They've been very lackadaisical about the process. They just really want to get out of the gate because they have to. One example that's very typical is we've encountered this one company, Vivaso, which IPO'd just last month. They, before their IPO, did not hold a single investor meeting or even bothered to put up a website. And in fact, a month after they've IPO'd, they still don't have a website up. That, unfortunately, is a very typical experience. So as you can imagine, they're not going to raise a whole lot of money, which has been the stark reality. Many of the analysts just say that, you know, these company executives just are not very motivated or very interested to ensuring that these IPOs are successful.
Well, you'd think the banks would ensure that they were successful to some extent, but you did, curiously enough, I picked up on something you said, that they've been forced to IPO almost. That's the impression I got. So there's got to be a reason for this rush, I suppose, to get onto the market.
That's right. The government recognizes that a crucial key to accelerating growth here in Vietnam is to really reform the state sector. The state sector is, you know, not as productive as it should be, and yet it eats up a lot of the resources, a lot of the capital of the state. So the Prime Minister has laid out a very aggressive goal of selling shares in 432 companies by the end of 2015. So that puts an immense pressure on these executives of state companies to really IPO. They really can't delay them because they'll face very severe reprimand. So they feel they have to do it, but at the end of the day, very ill prepared to do so, and not very motivated as well.
Well, what about overseas money? How's that doing at the moment? You know, foreign investors, are they looking to snap up some of these?
You know, unfortunately, not so far. We've only had one big sale, one big IPO where foreign investors participated. And of course, you know, that's very disappointing for the government as well. I think there's a lot of feeling that the foreign investors really are waiting for the big names that they know, that they trust, that there's information out on. So, for example, they're waiting for companies like Vietnam Airlines. That's a national carrier. It's slated to IPO sometime this year, though that IPO has been delayed, you know, over the course of at least 2 years or so. So a lot of people are waiting to see if that really will happen this year. And I think people feel that that would be a more true test of foreign investor sentiment about IPOs here in Vietnam.